All right, we are live in the Chris Crawford studio here with Michael Perkinson. We are doing a little audio testing today to see if we can actually figure out how to run a podcast.
Audio is the worst part of content creation, man.
Oh yeah, I've been a part of a few sketches where the audio was bad, and it takes you out of the sketch, honestly.
Yeah, I was in this Thanksgiving one where the audio was a little weak with some points. I don't know who ran that one, but the audio was tough on this Thanksgiving one I did one time.
Ironically enough, one of Kitty Get Job's most successful sketches, the CTC sketches,
Yeah.
the audio's terrible.
Really?
And it's like our most watched video.
So what are your thoughts on like say that one? What are your thoughts? I'm with it. I think if you've got good enough content, the audio will fly.
I mean, I'll put it to you this way: there was nobody. No, yeah, I mean the audio is bad from like a you and me standpoint as far as what we're listening to, and have seen. But it got the most views, it got the most comments, it got the most shares, it got the most engagements, and nowhere to be found was a your audio's bad.
Can you guys find a pencil that'll record the audio better with, something like that in the comments? Could you turn the audio up any louder?
I know. I'm curious how loud that gets.
That was a metaphorical comment. That was me being a comment right there. like go ahead. You pop it back. Oh, you're on me, right? Right. To you, right?
It's on you.
Can you think of having an audio? Yeah, I don't even know. Can you think of having a microphone that doesn't pick up the space station?
The what?
The space station.
Clarify what the space station is.
Oh, man. All right. It's this place. It's either in Nevada or Antarctica. And they put these people in this centrifuge where they float. Or at least they appear to float. Did you see the latest one where the Chinese people were in space and their coffee cup or their water cup was just chilling on the table?
I have not. What happened with that?
Wow, all sorts of questions, right?
Oh, it just took me a minute to pick up what was happening. So, okay. Velcro, man.
Did you see that?
No.
Dude, these guys are floating around acting all cool, and there's a glass of water full.
Now, was it a Starbucks cup? Did
No.
they pull a Game of Thrones and just product placement so it gets views?
It was a crystal clear cup. You could see right through it. You could see the liquid in it just sitting there. Not free floating. It was just staying in the space. Almost like if it were to be like a water yogurt.
So the lunar landing is fake, is what we're trying to say.
Buzz Aldrin, God bless him, has said it twice.
The simulation comments
Yeah.
with his handler.
Yeah. He's also punched a dude in the face that questioned it. So Buzz Aldrin's a wild one, dude. Is he alive?
I believe he is. We have to get with his handler, I guess.
CIA let him go for too long. He's gone rogue and he don't even know it.
Well, it works out perfect for them because they can just play the senile card at this point. Old Buzz, man, he doesn't know.
Was it Jimmy Fallon? He goes, I remember where I was when you took those steps on the moon. And he goes, you didn't see anything. It didn't really happen. I'm like, dude, are you telling this to Fallon? I can see you saying this to like Bill Hicks in a basement somewhere. But on Fallon, did you just say that?
On the Jimmy Fallon show.
Fallon was like,
man, could you imagine the handlers off stage on that?
Dude, they were sniper crosshairs on Fallon and Aldrin. Welcome to Hollywood.
Just ready.
Yeah.
On the headsets. Are we doing it?
Fallon's like, and we're gonna go to.
Man, that's a TV moment right there.
Yeah, dude. And then some guys walk up in blazers and then just go, whomp. And it works because America. Do you think that people choose to live in the blue pill state rather than the red pill state? Do you think more people choose to accept that it's a fairy tale, or at least they pretend it's a fairy tale, than don't see it?
I think there's a few subcategories of that. I just think there's some people that just choose it's the concept of the rose-colored glasses. Like, I'm not going to do anything about it. You're not going to do anything about it. What are we going to do about it? So just live in that blue pill state, you know? Like, and then I think there's others that genuinely just think it's, you know, absolute nonsense, and just think the tin hatters are out there promoting whatever they're promoting. But I would like to think that there's a more majority, and I respect it, and I'm sure maybe you do as well, or can.
I respect everybody's opinion.
Sure. But as far as just the mentality of, like, why let it be too much sometimes to go down that rabbit hole.
Yeah.
And to just question everything and live in that kind of state of mind all the time.
Yeah, whether it works to a detriment or for something positive, whatever it is to keep your personal balance, I guess, is crucial to a lot of people.
Right.
I personally think that people choose not to. I think they'd rather believe that it is the way it is. I think they really choose. I've had friends tell me I can show you proof this happened, and they're like, I believe you. I'd rather not see it.
It's that rose-colored glasses mentality of just, no, I'd just rather stay in my bubble. I don't want to see it. I don't want to think about it. I just want to go about my day, you know?
Yeah, so I'm very accepting with everybody's views and whatnot, and a lot of people are not very accepting. But the one thing that I do is, if there's anything that I do look into, because no, I don't take everything at face value. I do ask questions. I do look into things. I call that critical thought. I think a lot of people have a misperception on what critical thought is. But based on what I see and what I learn, or what I think I learn, which is a big emphasis on what I think I learn. A lot of us think we've learned some stuff. We think we know history. I personally think we don't know nothing. And we can't forget the winner writes the story.
Oh, you don't think we learned all the history in third grade with our third grade minds and the subtext that was written by? Do you know who wrote your third grade history book?
I know it came out of 30 Rock.
What do you mean by that?
Well, I mean, you got some propaganda coming out of that building. You know,
oh, for sure.
So when I truly learned that, I believe it was McGraw-Hill. I'm not exactly sure which textbook it was, but I did a little research.
Oh, you actually looked up who wrote it?
Oh, yes. And then I did my research on where they were based, and they were based out of the Rockefeller Building, 30 Rock.
Oh.
And then I was like, oh, let's add another piece of yarn from that pen to that pen and figure out what we're learning now. Because don't forget, Clayton, if you don't get that answer correct, you do not move on to the next grade.
Right? Yeah. That's your score, is to answer correct.
You do not progress in life if you do not pass that history exam the way it was told to you.
I wonder, like, what out of 1,000 people, I'd almost want to go broader with this, but I'll just say out of 1,000 people, I'm sure you'll probably think the same answer as I do. Out of 1,000 people coming out of third grade classes, how many of them do you think looked up who wrote the history book?
I didn't look it up till I was in my later teens, but
That even then, even then, one
yeah,
1 in 1,000, if that.
If not, their parents sent them to public school for social structure to learn how to interact with people, and that's the sole reason they sent their kids there. And they've prepped their kids on what's coming and going and how to pass it. That would be my only thing. I mean, it's so funny because when I was in the system, when I was in the matrix, I used to think homeschooling was so silly, and now that I am where I am, no, homeschooling has been where it's at the whole time. And if you want your kid to play that sport, they can go play that sport.
Oh, for sure. There's plenty of outside programs that you know.
You can play for the school. You can play for the school that's in your district if you're homeschooled.
Yeah. Okay.
As long as you have the grades. So, you know, I think it's become beyond blatant and clear that our universities and our schools are full of indoctrination and propaganda. And I even think a lot of the teachers openly push their agendas. And, you know, it's a shame. It's where we are. The downfall of Western civilization. There's a documentary about it that was based on rock stars. But you know what's even funnier than that? If you want to go down a rabbit hole, Bill Burr once said, you know, back in my day, rock stars dressed like women and sang like monsters. You know, like David Lee Roth and all those people. They had the long hair and
Sure, Aerosmith and classic 80s rock.
Yeah. And then now our kids are being told to dress that way in schools. This just took a hard left turn, literally a left turn.
Well, I think that's gonna conclude. I think that's gonna conclude the audio test. If me and Michael, you don't see us in the next couple of weeks, I think we know what might have happened.
There's an EMP coming on the 24th where none of us are going to see anybody. This is the last podcast ever filmed.
Don't say that.
This is the last podcast you're going to see. Go get your non-perishables. And then as Frank Reynolds said, if it really does go down, anyways, I just started blasting.
Okay. That's it for us for our audio test.
I can't even shoot a Nerf gun. The apocalypse is gonna be great for me, man. I'm gonna go down laughing.
You have a guard cat now. There's just go straight for the nose. Your ankles and your nose are fucked.